Alright, Looky Luke, or Looky Lou, just wanted to do a quick video for those couple questions you asked me. You said you had 3 rings. I don't know what the third ring's for. I had 2. The outer ring here, which is smaller, that holds your pipe. Okay. The other ring I had is this one that the smaller ring is screwed to. You actually have to glue this in. Alright. And you got to remember that you got little wooden dowels right here, or not wooden dowels, but wooden or ply blocks that your screws go into that hold on your turkey feathers. So you have to kind of cut out little grooves on that ply ring. So you glue that one in, and mine's black because I painted it, but you can see the writing on it, F-11 there. You put that in, you glue it in with a high saw, and then there's actually, if you look at the ring itself, it has little holes that are kind of punched holes where these screws line up. So I kind of glued mine in where everything's kind of at the, the 2 and 10, 4 and 7 positions. So that's the 2 rings. The third one, I don't know what your third one is for. Maybe something in the front, I'm not sure. But I didn't have a third, I only had the 2. Your second question about the canopy. I use a EV2 valve, which is just a two-way electrical valve. Here, let me set this down here. A two-way valve and a button valve. All right, make this thing be quiet here. All right, so it's pretty simple. You got a fill line running into your tank, alright, with a T-fitting that runs into the back of your EV2 valve, or whatever two-way valve you have. And then one line goes to the open, one line goes to the close. Alright, but since I didn't have an extra valve to do the locking, I added this little thing right here. It's a button valve. Alright, you just push it down, and that's what activates the lock cylinders. But what you do to make this work is your clothesline, alright, you tee off of your clothesline that goes to the cylinder close into this button valve. So when you hit the close button, it also pressurizes the button valve, which then when it closes and hits this, it sends that pressure to your lock as your canopy closes. So I'll show you here. Alright, so bear with me here. I'm trying to do this and work the radio. But, alright, so here we go. Get the close switch. Oop, wrong one. Comes down, hits the button, and activates the lock. Okay. Now the open line coming out of your EV2 goes straight to your opening on the cylinder, and it goes to the open on the cylinder for the locks. So when you hit the button to unlock it, it unlocks the lock cylinder and then pushes the canopy open. And it's getting kind of low on pressure, but I've got mine regulated down so it operates nice and slow with those little adjustment valves. Okay, so just to say that again, let's set this back down, turn it off. Okay, so fill line goes to your tank. There's a T-fitting and that line going to your tank that runs to the back of your EV2 valve. You have the 2 hoses coming, or 2 air lines coming out of your EV2, or two-way valve, whatever you have. One goes to so you have to tee it coming out to the open. So the open line coming out of the EV2 has a T valve on it, or a T fitting. One line goes to the open of your canopy, the other one goes to the unlock on the lock actuators. Okay, so that's pretty simple. The close feature is a little bit different. You have a line coming out of the close on your two-way valve with another T fitting that goes into your button valve on one line, and the other one goes to the cylinder for the close on the canopy. And then there's an extra line on the button valve that runs out of the button valve and goes into your canopy lock. Okay, so pretty simple. You do have to run a T-valve because you got two locks. So you got the one line coming out to the lock feature that you have to tee off of, and then it's the same way for the close. You have a T because you have two valves, but there's only one line going to, you know, each of the cylinders. So I hope that helps. I can kind of draw it out if not. Let's see. As far as T fittings, I didn't put in. I got two not T fitting. I got two quick disconnects in there, just because I needed them. The rest of it, I figured the first time I had to cut it and had to take it apart and cut those lines is when I would add my quick release valves. But right now I really don't have any, unless I have to take the jet apart for some reason to work on it or ship it. So when I do that, I'll cut the lines and then add the quick disconnects at that point. But right now I only have two, and that's because I didn't have a way to join two of the air lines. I didn't have just a normal splice. That's why I went ahead and used a quick disconnect. But that's all you do. It's just the way I have it. I have a T fitting on the main gear with one line running forward that tees into the nose gear, and then one line running up to the EV5 valve. So I would only have to do one quick disconnect for the entire gear, and then of course one disconnect for the doors and open and close, that type of deal. The scale lights, I don't have pictures for that. I have one for the super detail kit that I bought. The light kit doesn't come with one, but you got your position lights here that go here, one on each side, a green and a red. Alright, you have a light that goes here on each side that points up and illuminates the fin. You've got one light that goes here, one light that goes up here on top of your rudder. Okay, and then you've got, if you had your wings on, you have two lines running out your wing. One goes on top of the missile rack for your tip missile, one goes on bottom of the tip missile rack. So you got a top and a bottom on the actual missile mount, the missile launcher itself, not the wing. Okay, and that's all the scale lights you have. Other than that, that's about it. Like I said, I don't have any specific thing, but if you look on the bottom of your wing, you'll see, these kind of circles that were laid into the composite, and that's pretty much where you drill. If you look on their website, they do have the measurements for these. They hooked me up. They did mine for me. But you got two here for a Sparrow missile. You got two here for the JDAM. You got two here for obviously the fuel tanks, and then of course your wingtips bolt on here. And that should be it. Like I said, I hope this helps as far as getting you squared away. All right. Position light, strobe, kind of like a position light here on each side, pointing up at the rudder. All right, they stay on constant. So does this one. This one flashes. The ones on the wingtips, I believe, stay on all the time as well. And then the ones on the inlet stay on as well. The wingtips may flash, but I think they stay on. I can't remember. But that should be all of the lights. If you do get this the detail kit for it, I do have all the pictures for the location of all, like the PDOT tubes and the antennas, the APU exhaust, and all that stuff. If you need it, I can send you those. But if you got any more questions, man, just let me know. I'll do what I can. Hope this helps. Later.